Hi guys, so this video goes through how to construct a probability histogram. Now I need you to remember about the rule of 5 for this question. So remember that any frequency that you get that's under 5 is not a reliable frequency, and you need to combine that with other classes so that you have a frequency of greater than 5. And we're going to look at that in this particular case. So we're going to reconstruct our table with the same measurements that we had in the previous one, except now that we need to have a look at where we need to combine for our 5. So this one's only 2 and 4, so we might need to combine that one there, and this one we'll need to combine there. So to do that, we're going to have our first one here is going to be 5 to 8, and then we're going to have 9 to 10, 11 to 12, 13 to 14, 15 to 16, and then 17 to 20. Okay, and then we're going to carry our frequencies over. So we're going to fill in that part of the table there. So it won't be 2 because that was for the first one. So it's actually going to be 6. Okay, once we've done that, we need to calculate our relative frequencies for this particular set of data. Now, to be able to do that, we use the same methodology that we used before. So we'd have 6 divided by the total, and in this case, if you add them all up, the total will be 52. We have 52 pieces of data. So 66 divided by 52 equals 11.5. Now, that's a percentage, so obviously we needed to multiply this by 100. Okay, so I'm going to get you just to pause here and go through and practice calculating your relative frequency. Okay, so now I've calculated all of my relative frequencies. Now when we go about putting it into a probability histogram, there's a couple issues that occur if we actually graph the relative frequencies here. Now because we combined our classes from 5 to 8, we actually end up with a graph that looks disproportionate to what actually is happening in that particular graph. It'll look like that we have 4 different values that are at 11.5%, and that's not actually the case. So what we go about doing is we do an adjusted relative frequency. And to do that, we divide the relative frequency that we got by the number of scores that we have. So in this case, we have 4 scores. So we're going to divide that by 4, and that's going to give us a value of 2.9. And that's what we're going to use on our frequency, on our probability histogram. And so we have 21.2. That's for 9 and 10, so 2 scores. Okay, and that's going to give me 10.6, and so on until we complete the adjusted relative frequency. Now if you'd like to go through and do that, pause here now. Okay, so now that I've done that, I can now go about constructing my probability histogram. So the first thing you'll need to do is construct your set of axes with a scale on each side, with probability listed on one side as a percentage in this case, and your number and your value of your score listed along the x-axis. Okay, so go ahead and do that now. Okay, so now what I need to do once I've drawn up my scales like this, so you can see that I go from 5 through to 20, and that I go up in values of 2 on my probability side. What I'm going to do now is I've got my first one starts at 5, and I'm going to go up to 2.9. So that's 2, that's halfway through there, so that's about there. And I'm going to draw a line down. And I need to go all the way across to 8 here, and I'm going to go up to the same spot and draw my column. Okay, then I've got to do for 9 to 10, and so that's at 10.6. So that's about there. Of course, yours would be much more accurate because you would be using a ruler. Okay, and we keep going there, and we keep doing that till we've added all of our different columns. So you can try that if you just pause right here. And once you've completed that, you'd get a histogram that looks something like this. And as you can see that we actually have quite spread columns here, and you can see the majority of our distribution lies in this section here. Okay guys, so that's how you construct a probability histogram. There will be a video to follow that explains how to calculate probability from that histogram. Thanks very much, have a great day.